Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I am on here and I'm actually excited about this live because I've been doing my research all day. I'm not supposed to be eating these chips, but I am. But I'm really excited about talking about this cup that everybody's going crazy about. So let me make sure I'm live. And this is for my business folks that, are in transition like me or pivoting. I'm excited. I'm not going to eat these chips all through the thing. Maybe I will. But maybe get a notebook out because I'm going to go over the top 8 business strategies that I have learned from the Stanley Cup. Their motto per se. So let's get started. Of course, as always, I have my notes, and I'm gonna start with like the company background. Let's give an intro to myself, and then I'll start. My name is Kristen Nicole Mann, and I am an entrepreneur. I like to talk about God, life, beauty. Sometimes I advocate for people. I'm not a full activist, but yeah, so welcome. But I want to talk about Stanley because as an entrepreneur, we have to sometimes get put in a position to change what we're doing, not necessarily change the product, but change like how we approach it. So Stanley is a company that's actually been around for 111 years. 111 years. So if you feel like you need to stop selling whatever you're selling, this is probably not for you. But if you feel like you need to do something new with your products, this is for you. So Stanley is a company that's 111 years old. And I'm reading my notes because I just researched this company today because I had no idea. It was so many people going crazy over this cup. I have my makeshift Stanley Cup. It's clear. It cost me like low bucks, but what the cup does, let's start there. The cup actually helps your cold drink stay cold. It keeps ice for 48 hours. And then it also helps your hot drink stay hot. Then it has a straw and a part that you can sip out of. So there is another cup called the Yeti, and it kind of does the same thing, but from research and from what I've heard from people, Stanley is way better. So Stanley, let me read this. Stanley's lid rotates to offer a straw opening, drink opening, or full cover top. Yeti's tumbler only has a straw opening, but the thing is, with a cup this big, people usually don't want to drink without a straw. So you can throw the Stanley Cup in like a book bag or a gym bag. It's become wildly popular to keep your hydration. So I'm gonna start with number 1. The reason why this business has really propelled is because one minor change in your business can keep you, or it will, like if you're stuck, you might need to make one minor change. And that's what I read about this company. They were in a space where they had been a company for over 100 years. They were selling to men only. And so when you're selling to men only, they're selling to like construction, campers, those type of men. So it wasn't a company for women. And that was surprising because I didn't even know about this company until I went to research it. But they only sold to men. So the one minor change they made to sell to women got them out of their rut per se. And it doesn't mean the company wasn't successful selling to men. It's just like that one minor change, like let's sell to women, made their company just psh. Because let's be honest, women, we like to buy stuff, especially if people are talking about it. We have a tendency to like not want to miss out on anything that someone is saying. So I'll get to that part of how that also ties into this company like skyrocketing this year. But number two, this leads to number two, create for the audience you would like to tap into. So what they did, they got women to a group of women to kind of help them understand how to make their company better by selling to women. Um, that's a good idea. If you have people that you trust, bring them in on the product that you have been continually selling. And I've recently had to do this too. And they can give you ideas on something that they may love to do that you're selling or love to buy that you're selling. And you can take that and use it for greater gain. And what they did, they brought in like a few women to tell them how they can make the cup better. And they didn't necessarily change the cup itself. All they did was kind of change a little small minor things. So this brought me to number three, that pay attention to your customers' wants and needs. As a company or as a business, it is extremely important for us to pay attention to our customers' needs because this is what they did in this instance. And then I want to kind of read, they're very, like I said, they're very popular for keeping the drinks cold and keeping the ice in the cup and also keeping the hot drink hot. But they also paid attention to the woman's need, and what does that mean? Color. The colors that they came out with were selling to the women per se. They always had like a green, like there's the top color that's like a almost like an emerald green or a darker green, and that's still a top color, but they switched it up and they started selling women colors or neutral colors. And so that allowed women to gravitate towards this cup because it looks fancy, chic, and that's important. And so, who you're selling your brand to matters. So, I'm going to put that in the comments. Or a bonus, who's selling your brand matters. So let's say someone gets one of our products. Let's say someone gets this cup. And let's say this cup has another name brand on it. But let's say I get on live and I'm like, this cup, it really helped me throughout my day. I was so thirsty that it kept my cold drink cold, and I was able to just sip it on the way, and then I was able to, kind of throw it in my bag on the go to the gym. I have such a busy schedule, and I just really was able to utilize this cup. Who is messaging me knowing that I'm online? But that's what happened with their cup. Several women also took it online and they started talking about the cup. And so this helped other people be exposed to what the cup was. And it was in real time. So people wasn't being fake about it. They weren't being phony. They were maybe in their video like me with the cup just sitting there. Any type of like product that someone continuously gets on with, people are going to be interested in. And this is not only a lesson that I'm trying to tell y'all, I learned a lot today by looking up this company because I was like, what is the craze? Why are people beating people up for this cup? Like, and then when you find out what they did, you're like, oh, especially as an entrepreneur, you might need to look this up. If you're not one, you don't have to look this information up. It's not going to be really important to you, but I'm trying to help the business people that all of us is pivoting right now. We need to figure out what we need to do. It might not be that you have to get rid of your product. It just might, you have to change the approach. And that's hard sometimes. And that's what I want to go to number 5. Number 5, you can't resist change. Things have changed. No matter how much we try to keep things the same, they have changed. And so what they did, they brought in new leadership, and they were open to new ideas. They were open to just new ways to be able to sell the cup or reach people with the cup that never even heard about it. And that really helped when they had people that were willing to take risk with a company that already had a firm foundation. You're talking 111 years. That's a long time to be open as a business. And so when you bring in fresh new leadership that cares about the company and its standards, but also wants to move it in another direction, I mean, that's a double win. And anything that comes out of that is probably going to have a ripple effect in a positive way. And so they changed their leadership recently. They were swapping in the old and bringing in the new. And sometimes, there's sometimes where leadership in companies or businesses, they don't want to change. They don't want to, get new processing services for how to take payments. They don't want to, like, here's an example. In my area, a lot of businesses shut down, like old school mom and pop businesses. There was one diner that was in my area that shut down. And I kind of asked them one day, like, why are y'all leaving? Y'all get a lot of customers. And they were like, we don't want to change from cash. Like, we want to just have cash only. And I was like, what? That's why y'all are closing? And so it really hinders you when you're not open to change sometimes. And sometimes it doesn't hinder you. But you have to know when it is important to change. And so this leads me to my next point. Partnership is important. Partnership is important. So I'm going to read what someone said in their article, and it said affiliate marketing is something that they changed to. And so they were having women talking to women with the cup and telling them, hey, you need to get this cup. And it reminded me of, I can't think of her name, Lord, Madam C.J. Walker. She sold her hair products the same way. She had women go and sell from woman to woman. So it's like you're having a conversation. It's not like you're being pressured, but it's just like, this is really good products and I think it can help your hair. And that's the same system that they use for this cup. And I think it was smart because if you go on TikTok right now, you see a lot of like moms or you see a lot of grandmothers on the younger side with this cup in the video. And they're just talking. And let's say I'm waving this cup and I keep saying, and it's like this huge cup with a great color with a straw. Anytime you have that, just again, you keep flashing it or something that is just an accessory for a person and they're just talking to you, and like if this was a Starbucks cup or this was a Dunkin' Donuts cup and every time I went live I had a Dunkin' Donuts cup, eventually you're gonna be like, I wonder what Dunkin' Donuts tastes like. So it was a learning lesson for me today because I went and looked it up and it's a bunch of women just talking with the cup. And then I mean, it's not even like you're pressured, but you're like, wow, I really want one. Like, that looks really nice. So eventually I'm going to get me one. But for now, that was their one of their strategies to market the cup. And I just think that's so natural and organic to have women on the go, women that are moms that stay at home moms, women that are going to the gym, like women, we like to talk to each other. So that was a awesome strategy, like awesome. Which leads me to my next, which people don't really talk about this like they're supposed to anymore. But me being an artist, this is really important for me. So number, I don't even know, 7, color psychology is still a thing. Color psychology is still a thing. And so what they did with this cup, they had regular, degular, like manly colors. Not saying that men's colors are regular, but I'm just saying there was only a limited amount of colors. And then there was like a steel one. That's about it. So when they drastically went to like hot pink or a like a teal or like some like vibrant bright colors, people were excited about getting this cup. And so when you have color psychology, it matters with your brand because look at McDonald's. The arch is yellow, but they have red in it as well. So it's like, eat me, eat me. Like look at Home Depot. Orange is a creative color. If you go into Home Depot, you feel like you can build a house, but their logo has only orange and white. You can look at Apple. Theirs is silver, I believe, or gray. Usually technology-based companies have gray or a silver, or just like they keep it simple. Because if Apple always produces a phone, you don't want to see a different logo every single time they produce a phone. You want to see that Apple on the back that's the same color. And so it's really strategic on how you do your colors. I wouldn't necessarily do a black if you have like a company that has to do with creativity. Black is usually sophisticated, very like cutthroat, straight to the point. But if you want like more relaxed, you could do a blue. Wellness, health and wellness usually are greens and like neutral tones. So color psychology, go study that. I encourage you to. And so another thing I saw is that people have purchased these cups in different colors for their different parts of the day. This is like psycho. So they, I take that back. It's not psycho. They may just want to do that. I would if I could afford it. But people have changed their colors throughout the day with these cups. They'll have one for morning coffee. That's one color. They'll have one for their morning routine, workout routine. That's another color. They'll have one for their lunch date. They'll have one for the night. It's like, that's how much people are buying these cups. So color psychology matters. And they also said they are matching them with their outfits. It's a whole phenomenon. So the last one, and then I'm going to go over some quick stuff. The last one is number 8, influence to create change in your industry. So the fact that this cup has become so popular, it's actually changed the other cups that are like this. They have looked into, I forgot the company's name. Oh man, I didn't even put it down here. It's another company with a cup like this or somewhat like the same idea. And they have changed their cup to meet the needs of the customers that the Stanley has. They want some of the piece of the pie. So they have changed their things as well. And I'm like, oh my God, people are really like paying attention. And so you want to influence to create change in your industry. You want people looking at you. I know people get weirded out. I even get weirded out sometimes where I'm like, oh no, I don't want nobody looking at me. I'm not in competition. Yeah, business is business, and unfortunately it is a competition. Once you cross that path of taking money from people, it is quote unquote a competition. And with what I do with art, that makes it complex a little bit sometimes, because yeah, we all have different art styles, but it's like if you are selling in the same environment, you have to compete to get the attention of who you want, to sell to. And sometimes we're selling to the same people. And it's billions of people on this earth, but sometimes that's what makes it worse. We're selling to the same people, same mindset, same, we might have the same character. So, sometimes it makes it hard, for you if you're not that person naturally. But business is business, and Yeti has taken upon itself to change some of their cup to get the same type of audience. So other things that I found, I'm done with the top things, but other things that I have written down is to drive even more interest in new releases, the company adopted a tactic around drops that often seen in sneaker culture and used by streetwear brands. So not only are they doing all the 8 things that I talked about, they are now having drops. So people are literally waiting for them to come up with a new type of design or color of a cup, and they're buying it before it actually drops, or they're lining up to buy it when it actually drops. I take that back. They're actually lining up and waiting for a drop, just like a sneaker. So they have taken upon a whole different other audience that likes the drop culture. And again, we only see that usually in sneaker culture or streetwear culture. So they have taken on this whole new effect of another industry, and they've brought it over to theirs. Um, and then it said, in the past few years, the brand has done a good job connecting with both existing and potential customers, committing to their core design principles of form, function, and design, and having the ability to act on changing trends. So I've seen over the holidays, they had a special limited edition design, and people are like really paying attention to it. And then we see clips now of people fighting in the Targets and fighting in the stores. So this is important, y'all. If you are a business owner, you might not even be selling a cup, but like I said, let's say you're selling a lotion. Look at Nivea. Okay, pay attention to their logo. It's blue. That's calm. This is blue right here. All of it is calm to me. And then they have the gold, and then the skin firming and argan oil, and they have the gold and blue, and it just feels elite. Like it feels like it's gonna really moisturize your skin, which it does. It does. But when you have other lotions competing, now I have Jergens lotion, and their design is totally different, but they also have coordinated having the oil part in big words, having like the little effects on there. So these companies pay attention to each other. It's not a bad thing to pay attention to another company and what works for them, and take it back to your side and really like look over how you can maneuver and bring it over to your side. It's not a bad thing. And sometimes, you'll you'll make yourself feel bad, or culture will make you feel bad about doing that. But Yeti is doing it. They're doing it with their cups. They're like, I do not care. I'm bringing whatever works for y'all, and we gonna figure it out over here. And then the last thing I saw in the article was they have a phenomenal pulse on the conversations on social media. So that's a bonus. They're using social media heavily, y'all. So if you have a product and you're afraid to get on like I'm on right now, I have products too. Y'all may have seen me pushing it. You may have not, but look, that's one of my products. I do artwork. So if you are afraid to get on, how are people going to see it? There's tons of people with their cup just sitting and talking like me. Have something that people, I learned with this by studying this product. They're doing life with the product. It's just a part of their lives. And that's really important. And they said they pay attention to what people are talking about. It's the connectivity. It's not just a product that they're putting in the market. It's about listening to the consumers, what really matters to them, and actually working on that and bringing that offering to the market. And so I've, personally taken the time since my last video to talk to people about like, okay, I know I don't have to change the product, but what do people need? What do they want? Because at the end of the day, whether it's this lotion, whether it's this drink I just got from somewhere, it's a service. It's serving people. And so researching this company, they really have honed in for 111 years how to serve their audience with this cup, not just because it's a cup, but they have really allowed people to intertwine it in their lives, whether that's on the job, whether that's camping, whether that's now a stay-at-home mom, whether that's a corporate working person, all facets of life has this cup. And so I've learned from just researching this today, like, you want that type of impact as a company, as a business owner. You want that type of impact. And there's things we have to pivot to whether we want to or not, because we're serving people. It's not about us. That's what I have written down. That's what I made a mental note of. It's really not about me. It's about what pleases the customer. And we're not going to satisfy everyone, but we have to take the time to map out what's the customer want. What does the customer want? Not me. Not what makes me feel good about what makes me feel good is when somebody buys a painting or somebody buys a book from me and they're like, oh, this really helped me. I look at this every day, or I write in this every day, or I read this to my child every day or every other day, and they just light up when we read this story. Those are the things that matters. And I'm sure Stanley, one of the videos, a lady had a car that exploded, and the cup was in the car, and it survived. It survived. And she posted it, and the company responded, and they bought her a new car, and they sent her like a bunch of Stanley Cups. If they would have ignored that, it would have been a bunch of slander on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Like, the way that they responded to that, it spread like wildfire. And why wouldn't you want to give a company that cares your money? So it's like, we have to do better as business owners and service-wise this year on everything that our customer needs and wants. We have to really pay attention to that. We have to listen. We have to ask the hard questions. Sometimes we don't like to ask those hard questions like, what can I do better? What I know, like, packaging matters, the aesthetic matters, the way you communicate matters. You don't want to just brush off people, and they're really good at not brushing people off. They're really good at listening. They're really good at taking into effect what women are doing right now. So they pay attention to women and how they dress and how they like to coordinate. And I'm talking about a cup. So what do you have that can have that same impact? It could be a soap bar. It could be a spray. Like this spray, I use. I actually use it every now and then, but it's from Walmart, and I had it. I just happened to see it, and it has like essential oils in it, lavender and chameleon tea, I don't even know how to say it, but you can spray it directly on your skin, and it's vegan. This is why I really bought it, because it's vegan. And a lot of people are into organic. I myself am. I don't like to poison my skin no more now that we're learning everything. But I'm just saying, even little stuff like this matters. And I'm just learning, like, pay attention more. So if you have any type of product, I hope you learned something from this live. I have learned a tremendous amount of surprising strategies from this company, and I'm not going to make fun of it no more. I do think, like, the women fighting is, like, a little chaotic, but sometimes you got to take a look at what is these people doing? Why are people so gravitated? So, yeah, I'll be putting this on YouTube. You can follow me on YouTube under Kristen Nicole Mann. And when I have my Stanley Cup, I will get on here and wave it just like this. But business owners, definitely look into this company because it will help you. All right, have a good Friday. Talk to you soon.